you go. Right, so I've been SOS by the local town council. In our local cemetery there's a tall headstone that's got a bit of a lean on it, and they're concerned about it falling down and someone getting hurt. But this is going to be a heavy piece of stone. I don't know if it's in one piece or two pieces, not quite sure how it comes apart, but yeah, they've asked me if I can help them to lay it down, bring up a tractor or something. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure the Mustang is not up to the task. I don't know if the tractor's going to do it either, so we're just going to take a wander up there now, have a quick look and just see if I can do this thing safely with the 695. If I can, I'll help him out. If I can't, or if I think I could damage the headstone or whatever else, then I'll decline. I don't reckon I can get anywhere near that. Okay, well that's the offending article. I reckon he comes apart 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to get my tractor anywhere near that. Okay, so maybe we can do it after all. Apparently there's a path across with no graves in it that I could either get the Mustang up or maybe the mini digger. Watch this space. Alright, okay, so there's nothing actually wrong with you, is there? No. You were just pretending to be dead. I've been asked about this little building a couple of times. This is known as the Ox House. I would have thought that giving it that name would make it reasonably obvious. We're going to go dark, hang on. Reasonably obvious what this building was originally built for. Hopefully there's enough light in here, but it was originally for cattle. In the days when everything was forked in and everything was forked out again, so obviously there was a little window in there once, still a window at that end. I'd be interested to know what the old history of this place was, but unfortunately the guy who really knew is no longer with us. So my Uncle Jack used to keep his Wessex saddleback pigs in here. He was well known for his saddleback pigs, so yeah, that's where they lived. Thing is, what do you do with a building like this? What can you do with a building like this? I know. Convert it into a little bothy, you know, Ian's little hideaway. Put more sheep in it, or cattle, or pigs. No. longer than my willy. That's that then. Come on then. In you go. Well, that's definitely warmed up now. It's 12:30. I could probably do without this now, but just in case. So we're off down to, I say we, Biscuit and I, we're off down to see our friends at Moor Valley at Barclay. I spoke to Abby over the weekend with reference to sheep. She's really hoping that she can get more involved with lambing this year. Hopefully with COVID and everything else, maybe it's going to make life difficult. And it's going to have to be one of those things where if she does manage to come down and do anything with the sheep, I can't help her. It's either me down with the sheep or Abby down with the sheep. And although I know a lot of you are looking forward to seeing her, if Abby's down with the sheep, she's not, very unlikely she's going to take the camera with her. So you guys, you're not going to see her, I'm afraid, or it's unlikely you're going to see her. Maybe I could talk her into doing a bit, I don't know, but yeah, but because we got to be separated, it's going to be her or me. But one of the things she has been, I won't say nagging at me to get, but been hinting strongly for me to get is a better handling system for the sheep. Our old Paulden Vale race, most of it was second hand when my dad bought it 40 years ago. The guillotine gate, the splitter gate, most of it is now, well, it's well beyond its best and kind of not really worth repairing again. Some of it we can repair, we can cut bits out and weld bits in, but it's kind of got to the point where Abby reminds me that, you know, I make a few quid out of the YouTube channel and she doesn't get any of it. So, no, but I do all the work. Even though she hasn't really been involved much. That's not because she didn't want to, it's because she couldn't. So basically what I said is, look, she wants some more stuff to make life easier for her to handle the sheep. If we're going to continue with sheep and even get more sheep, we really ought to consider upgrading our handling system. Now, the old, or the remains of our old Paulden Vale system, although it's heavy, is good enough for penning, for getting them all together. So I don't need to buy a complete £2,000 or £3,000 system. So I just had a chat with Martin down at Moor Valley, and when we're going down there, we're going to go look at the shiny catalogue, and I think we're just going to buy, provided we can get it, guillotine gate, splitter gate, 4 panels, and the leg that goes between the panels to hold them together. I still think that's, you know, fairly strong money, but it's a lot cheaper than buying the entire thing. Mr. Stokes doing a beech tree. Poor beech tree, getting his clothes off this time of year. Right, there you go. So we're off to Moor Valley. Oh, you know where you're going, didn't you? Hey, you know what this place is. This place means biscuits. Wait a minute. Just look, you got all tangled up here. Look, wait. I've got to put my jock strap on here. Come on up. Right, so Abby will be pleased to learn I have ordered a very basic sheep race. It's basically it's the economy one. There's no point in me spending thousands of pounds on something we're going to use a few times a year, and I'm never going to wear it out. And not only that, I looked at the heavier duty one. It's all very well being heavy duty, but if Abby's got to take it apart and move it, kind of what would be the point? What would be the point of me buying a great big heavy thing that she can't move around herself? Yeah, no point. So right, so we've just bought a 15-foot gate, which I'm going to try and get on the back of my 110 Land Rover. So yeah, we'll go and collect that, shall we? Yeah, jockstrap time again. Yeah, I didn't think he'd want to carry it up here, so I'll drive down there. Apparently I got the last 15-foot gate on the premises, so I'm looking for a container holding one, and that's a yard gate. That's the yard gates. This is where I find I'm driving on the wrong side. So that's not it, that's not it. Right. I'm going to have to get out and look, hang on a minute. Right, well, it's on there. How are we doing for time? 1:05. Oh, I'm in time for dinner. What do you mean it's too long for me Land Rover? Loads of room on there, look at that. Alright, I might be just 3'6" beyond the lights, but he went on there alright. So 107 quid for a 15-foot field gate, not a yard gate, a field gate. So I think the last one I bought was about 84. Steel prices apparently. As I understand, I think they were saying that since Christmas, IAE have had 2 price rises, one of 5% and one of 11%. So a 16% price rise since Christmas. And I presume that's just on material costs. And I want to build a barn. This may hurt. I actually wanted 2 of these gates, 2 15-footers, because that is what these posts are set up for, 15-foot gates. But they only had 1. And from what I understand of it, it could be weeks before they have any more, so I will have to improvise the rest of the yard. There's always a way. Well, gates on its hinges, I just need a spanner now to adjust these fellas up, and a hammer to put that end in. How many of you have smacked a finger putting that in there? Yeah, I have. So this is a spring bolt for the gate, spring, washer and roll pin. They have to go in a certain order. What are you grumbling at? Right, now for the potentially painful bit. Sometimes I go in one way and not the other. You just have to find the way that he wants to go. Right, well, he's going to go that way whether he wants to or not now. That is a tight hole. You lot. The crack is not to pinch the washer. Through yet? Almost. One more there. Right. Okay. Not the quietest job in the world, but that is at least done. If you don't fit, and I've learnt this the painful way, if you don't fit your gate furniture, as soon as you get home, put it on the gate, you end up putting the gate in one place, the bag of the furniture goes in another place, and then when you want to hang the gate, you can't find a hinge, or you can't find the spring bolt, or you can't find the hammer. So yeah, tip. Do it straight away, and it's done. All right, so the hinges are literally only finger tight on there, but yeah, that'll work. So the originally this was for cattle. This was all put in, and the levels were put up, and these are the original hinges on the post, but for sheep and lambs it was too high, so we had these extra hinges put on both sides. We had them welded afterwards, so it does mean that the bolt doesn't meet up with the hole this end, but our wonderful New Zealand chains, the hook chains, means the bolt's not that important. I mean, they can't push it open. So, I could take the block out and drill another hole in there. I could, if I wanted to. I could. Not today. All I've got to do now is sort out the rest of the yard in here. Because I think what we're going to do, because we've got a few more ewes this year, and although they're not all coming in at once, I think we'll bed this area out in here. Obviously the Palax, the processor's got to come back out. That is still for sale, so if somebody wants it, makes me a sensible offer for it, that can go. It's kind of as new. We haven't really worn the paint off of it. It is a 6-year-old machine, but that is not been painted. That is all original. We bought it thinking we were going to do a lot more forestry work. Didn't happen. And it's like a few other bits and bobs. We've got this. We've also got a kindling machine in the barn. The forestry side, well, it was a good idea at the time. and we were going to go that way, and then we decided not to go that way. So literally, this is like £6,500 sat in my shed doing nothing. So, want one? Make me a sensible offer. You could even have spare drive bolts. You can have them for free if you pay for the machine. Yeah. So anyway, so that's got to come out. We'll put up pens here. So literally, that's why we had to redo the net yesterday. Try and keep a bit of the weather out. We'll put up lambing pens at the back of that wall there because that's where lights are. And I think the ewes will basically have this area in here to roam around in. We'll close a little area off, so when we've got small lambs, there's a clean area for them to come out the pen into. So there you go. Right, I've just sent Abby a photograph of the sheep race I've ordered. I can't have it for 8 or 9 weeks because that's how long it's going to take them to get it to us. Moore Valley did us a really good deal, actually. I was very pleased with it. I shan't give you the numbers, but the catalogue, let's put it, the catalogue they gave me was pre 2 price rises ago. So the price has gone up 16% since that catalogue was produced. And I still got it quite a few quid cheaper than the catalogue price. So that's what a cheeky smile does for you, know. Or not. So okay, so do I want to do this today? It wants doing, but there's stuff I could do outside. I really want to get rid of that muck spreader full of 5H1T. I'd like to empty that, but do I dare? We've had some wet. Do I dare?